Gambling. Gambling is an addiction. Many people have lost much or all of their wealth because of gambling. The urge to buy a lottery ticket or to place a bet on the Super Bowl can be tempting by many people. For some people, they are not able to control themselves. They need to have action and will do anything they can to get it. This can be similar to a drug addict who needs their drugs. We live in a world where we need to gain fiat dollars to be able to simply live. Food, shelter, energy, and transportation all cost fiat dollars. The system of money we are currently in makes it an enormous challenge to gain fiat dollars with the system of debt. The reason why this is an enormous challenge can be explained well in documentaries like Money as Debt and Zeitgeist Federal Reserve. Winning at gambling in the long run is also an enormous challenge. Ways to gamble fiat dollars in chance games. Bingo, slots, lottery, scratch tickets, Keno, baccarat, to name a few. These are games that seems as if there is no skill, and the only way you can win in these games is if you are a casino. I am not sure that this is true, and the only theory I can see in which could give players the edge in these games is the law of attraction. Even when you use the law of attraction, there is no guarantee. The human race has barely even touched the surface on how to use this technique, and a lot is going to be needed to become a winner. The reason I say on theory that the law of attraction can beat these games is because my theory that the law of average is affected by the law of attraction. Therefore, if you would normally be a 4% loser and you use the law of attraction with positive energy, you may reduce the 4% loser to 2% loser. This means you would still lose, however, not as much as the random person. I have heard people say, I don't want to lose before they go to the casino, and it seems to me that when they say this, they want to. If the movie The Secret has taught us anything, it is that when you focus your energies on what you don't want, then it probably will manifest itself. I once read in a gambling magazine that Las Vegas had slot machines that cost $100 to play that paid over 100%. If this is true, it would be very hard to find casinos that pay over 100%, but if you can find this, then the math states you are a long-term winner. 100% means that this is the amount of your bet that they will pay back. Many online and Las Vegas slot machines can pay back 97%. That means for every $100 that is put into the machines, the casino will make $3 profit on the long run. If you are walking around a casino slot machine and consider that 3% of every slot pull is going to the house, then the numbers can add up to huge profits for the casino. Horses and sports gambling. Simply using mathematics in this example in an NFL football game, when the spread of a game offers a 50-50 shot for either team, then they are going to ask you to lay $11 for every $10 you want to win. This means you must win 11 of 21 games or go 11 and 10 to break even. This may not sound that difficult to do, but it can be quite difficult. First of all, even if you win 55 to 60% of your top bets that you make, then you will need to have good money management, which is the case with all gambling games, and you will need to resist playing too many games. If you can do this, then you can win. The outcome is not certain, and even if some games are manipulated in a conspiracy event, that is still no excuse for research can be done to find out the manipulation in advance. Winning in sports and horses is all about understanding the psychology of the game and the math that goes with it. Roulette. The odds in roulette will give you even money if you pick black or red. However, the green zero and double zero makes it so that you will lose more than 50%. There is 18 red spots, 18 black spots, and 2 green spots. This means you will win 18 of 38 spins or 47.4% when you need 50% to break even. Betting on any of the 38 numbers gives you 35 to 1 odds. Therefore, 38 spins betting $1 per spin will give you $36 back, and well, you're down $2. This sounds like a chance game like bingo or slots, but I've heard that you can have an advantage by understanding how the dealer spins the ball and where he or she releases it. This can give you the general idea for where it will lie. I was once fortunate to have a casino player show me how she did it, and for the most part, the numbers were in the area of the wheel as predicted. I'm not aware of much more on this, and I have never attempted to master this, but this is an example of how to profit in roulette. Blackjack and Spanish 21. If you play perfect standard by the book blackjack, always doing the same things in all situations, then you will be a fractional loser on the long run. This means always staying on 16 when the dealer shows a 3 to a 6 card. This means always doubling 11 against any card and never taking insurance with the dealer's ace. If you count cards, then this can put the odds in your favor. What this enables you to do is adjust your play on the current count of the deck. If the deck is rich in high cards and you have 16 versus the dealer's face card, then you may consider not taking a card. If you count 4s and 5s and they have been played more than normal, you really would want to consider staying. The reason for this is because your chances of busting goes higher. Unfortunately, the dealer has a lower chance of busting also. But if he does manage to hit a 2 to a 6 on the next hit, you have a great chance of winning. On the contrary, in the same situation where you have 16 against the dealer's 10 and many face cards have been played, then you have good odds to draw a card. That is an ace to a 5, and you may consider taking a hit. The dealer does have a better chance of drawing a low card, which could give him a 13-15 kind of count, but after he reveals the first card, this deck is not rich, and he could very easily hit another 4 or 5, and that would be very common. If the deck is rich in high cards and the dealer pulls an ace, you now may want to consider insurance. Insurance pays 2 to 1. This means you need to win 33% of the time to break even. If you count, if you're counting the cards, and there is more than 33% of the cards left that are a 10 or a face, then you are profiting long term by playing insurance. By playing this, you will need to win 4 times out of. Okay, by playing insurance normally, every time you will win 4 times out of 13. The 4 times will win, which is 2 to 1 times 4 victories, $8 profit, and the 9 times you lose, well, that's a $9 loss, which is a total loss of $1. Also, when you have rich cards with more faces and aces left, there is more of an advantage to the player, and when you know this, you can increase your wagers while the odds are in your favor. Poker. This is the one casino game where the host does not care if you win because they make money by taking a portion of the rake in a cash game or by charging a fee to play a tournament. This means you are competing against other players mano a mano. In order to win this game, you need to have more information than the other players at your table. You need to be better at understanding the pot odds, better at knowing when to play big pots and small pots, and when to lay down a big hand. Many people go broke because they only have one pair and will pay off to the player who has 3 of a kind or a straight. One way to profit in poker is to understand tells and how humans quite often can give away the strength or the lack thereof that their hand has. This means when someone is giving tells of bluffing, you can call them with a marginal hand or re-raise them big with garbage. This means when someone gives off a tell that they have a great hand, then you may want to consider laying down a marginal hand, which could give you a tough decision if your hand is powerful, but not the best hand possible. Because of rake and tournament fees, this ultimately means that the average player has to be losing. If one poker room cashed $10,000 in rake fees on a given night, that means players are down $10,000 total. Some may be up in profits, but that would be the minority. The stock market. This one is very controversial, it seems. The brokers and investment networks will hide the fact that this is gambling. Sort of like poker, this works the same way that for every winner there has to be a loser. Like the rake fees in poker, this can be comparable to the fees to make a trade. Like poker, you can use skill to give yourself an advantage in the long run. The big difference that stock trading has in regards to every other game I mentioned is that it is extremely difficult to play this at lower stakes. You can buy $2,000 worth of FAS, which is a triple leverage fund, and pay $10 commission. This means you have to pay commission twice for the buy and the sell for $20 total. 1% of $2,000 is 20, and thus you would need to profit 1% on the trade just to break even. If you bet $200 on this, you would need to profit 10% to break even. This is why it is very difficult to play this at small stakes. You can play bingo for $25 or sit down at a 1 cent, 2 cent online poker room and play for micro stakes. You can bet $5 a hand on blackjack, and thus the risk is a lot lower if you choose to control it. To have great money management in stocks, you most likely will need at least $10,000 to play. Now, you can play options for a little less. Nonetheless, the casinos, they will pay you, they'll give you drinks, maybe comp you for a room, and well, stock markets, they'll pay you dividends. Nonetheless, it's not a guarantee that you're going to win. But if you choose to play any game where you can put the odds in the favor, then over the long run, the odds should state that you will be a winner. But that doesn't mean you will. After all, if somebody can win a lottery ticket at 20 million to 1 odds, and you are so good that you have 20 million to 1 that you're going to lose everything, well, if someone can if someone can win the lottery, then you could lose everything, even if you know what you're doing. Thank you for watching, and have yourself a great day.